In this problem, first of all, we are asked to convert the points from polar coordinates. Here is A is 3 square root of 2 and 3 pi 4th. I'm going to use this formula, x, and please memorize this, r cosine theta, y r sine theta, and in this case I will get r is 3 square root of 2 cosine of 3 pi 4th and 3 square root of 2 sine of 3 pi 4th. 3 pi 4th is in this coordinate, so cosine is a negative value, and both of them are square root of 2 over 2. By the way, square root of 2 over 2 times square root of 2 is just 2 over 2 equal to 1. So this part is just 1, this part is just 1, and I end up with, negative. This one is positive 1, this is negative 1, because we said, and so negative 3 and 3 is the answer. Negative 3 and 3, and I know the radius is 3 square root of 2. Here is 1, 2, 3, and 3 square root of 2. Let me see what that radius is. 3 square root of 2 is approximately 3 times 1.4, which is 4.2. So approximately sits around somewhere around there. That's A. And then I have to find B. B, negative 4 and negative pi 6th. And here, so this, according to the formula, is negative 4 cosine of negative pi 6th and negative 4 sine of negative pi 6th. So let's find these values. Cosine of negative pi 6th, negative pi 6 is in the 4th quadrant, so cosine is positive, sine is negative. I have to go to my reference angle and pi 6th, and I know that sine of pi 6th is 1/2, cosine is square root of 3 over 2 basically, and here I have to multiply by negative sign for that, and so I get negative 4 times square root of 3 over 2 and negative 4 times negative 1/2, and that is, I can simplify it 2 and 4, negative 2 square root of 3 and 2 basically. Now I don't need to go back to this to find the B on the polar plane. All I need to know is that the radius is negative 4 and the angle is negative pi over 4. So negative 4 and negative pi over 4, pi over 6, I'm sorry, is right about here. And because radius is negative, you have to go back and in the opposite side, and you find B right there. Now, the next question is asking you to find the to convert this equation into its this one's A, and B is asking to convert that into Cartesian. And so best way to do that is using tan. So I go tan theta is equal to tan 7 pi 4th. I don't like theta on its own because the formulas that I know doesn't have tan on its own. Let's make sure that we know what to memorize. Those are to memorize. Also, what you want to memorize is tan theta is equal to y over x, and x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. So now that I do that, I can write tan theta. tan of 7 pi fourth is 7 pi fourth is in the here pi fourth, here is 3 pi fourth, here is 5 pi fourth, and 7 pi fourth is in this quadrant. Therefore, the tan is going to be negative value. And I know tan related to pi fourth with reference angle pi fourth is 1. So it's negative 1 here. Now I'm going to use that formula, replace it back. Y over 6 equal to negative 1 means y is equal to negative x. The next question is asking to convert the next question is asking to convert 3 minus 3i into polar coordinates. 3 minus 3i. So here x is 3, y is negative 3, and converting it to polar gives me r, which is square root of 3 to the power 2 plus negative 3 to the power 2, and that is 3 square root of 2, and it gives me and tan of theta is going to be equal to minus 3 over 3, which is negative 1. Theta is going to be in the x and y live in which quadrant? They live when x is positive and y is negative. That's the fourth quadrant. And in the fourth quadrant, theta has to be, we just did that, 7 pi fourth. So 3 minus 3i is equal to 3 square root of 2 e to the power I, 7 pi fourth. The next part is asking us to compute, basically that's e to the power I pi sixth to power 122. And that is done by the, basically that exponential is this. And that is done by, that is done by an exponential power rule. And the complex numbers are supposed to follow those rules as well. So it's going to be e to the power I times 122 pi divided by 6, or the other format of that is cosine of 122 pi divided by 6 plus I sine of 122 pi over 6. So it makes the multiplication much easier.